Johnny Depp has always had a soft spot for animals, the kind of quiet love that doesn't shout for attention. Over the years, he's shown up for creatures who can't speak for themselves: stray cats, abandoned kittens, injured little ones left behind. One charity close to his heart is the Celia Hammond Animal Trust, a UK-based rescue founded back in 1986 by former supermodel Celia Hammond. This organization doesn't just take in cats, it rescues them from streets, from neglect, from situations where owners can't afford vet care. They provide medical treatment, shelter, neutering to control populations humanely, and a real chance at a loving home. No kill, no destruction, just compassion in action for nearly 4 decades. In early 2024, Johnny stepped into this world in his trademark low-key way. He joined forces with music legend Rod Stewart for a private benefit concert at the Ned Hotel in London's Bank District. No red carpet, no flashing cameras, no big press announcements. Just an intimate evening where the focus was the cause, not the celebrities. Tickets had been bid on months earlier at another event, keeping everything discreet. The night featured performances, Rod belting out his classics, Johnny adding his presence and support. Together, they helped raise more than $300,000. Every pound, every dollar went straight to the front lines: life-saving surgeries for sick cats, food and bedding for those in shelters, spay and neuter programs to stop the cycle of overpopulation. Celia Hammond herself, now in her 80s, has spent her life fighting for these animals. She started the trust because she saw too many cats suffering: strays hit by cars, kittens dumped in bins, pets surrendered when families couldn't pay bills. The charity runs low-cost neutering clinics so people can afford to care responsibly. They rescue hundreds every year, rehabilitate the injured, and rehome where possible. Johnny's involvement wasn't a one-off photo op. He spoke warmly about Celia's dedication, calling her commitment beyond admirable. He understood the quiet grind of rescue work: the late nights, the heartbreaking cases, the small victories when a scared cat finally purrs again. But Johnny didn't stop at showing up that night. He went further with the "Hopelessly Devoted" campaign, a special fundraiser created to boost awareness and cash for the trust. In this effort, he generously donated a signed limited edition lithograph portrait of himself, something personal, collectible, meaningful to fans. The raffle gave people a chance to own a piece of his art while directly funding the shelters. He even shared the link on his Instagram, reaching his millions of followers without turning it into a spectacle. That simple act drove real support, more donations, more attention to the cats who need it most. Think about what that money does. $300,000 translates to countless vet visits. It covers emergency operations for cats with broken legs from street accidents. It pays for antibiotics to fight infections in abandoned kittens. It funds the vans that pick up strays in the dead of night. It keeps the shelters warm, clean, stocked with litter and toys so these animals feel safe, not caged. For many cats, it's the difference between euthanasia and overcrowded pounds and a second chance at life. Johnny's help ensured that more of those second chances happened. This isn't new for him. Johnny's love for animals runs deep. He's been a longtime advocate for strays and rescues. He's known for rescuing cats himself, giving them homes when no one else would. Stories circulate of him quietly supporting other shelters, paying bills for injured pets, or simply showing up with donations when a rescue is struggling. But with Celia Hammond's trust, it feels personal. The charity's no-nonsense approach, no fancy PR, just boots on the ground work, mirrors how Johnny prefers to give: privately, effectively, without needing credit. Imagine the scene at one of their centers: a volunteer gently wrapping a bandage around a cat's paw after surgery funded by the concert. Or a tiny black kitten, once left in a box in the rain, now curled up in a warm bed because neutering programs prevented another litter from being born homeless. These are the moments Johnny helped make possible. He didn't need applause. He just wanted the animals to have a fighting chance. And it's not just about the big checks or events. Johnny's kindness shows in smaller ways too, things that don't make headlines but matter just as much. He's spoken about how animals teach us loyalty, how a rescued cat's trust is earned slowly and feels like the purest kind of bond. He gets it. These creatures depend on us completely. When their world falls apart, abandonment, illness, injury, they need humans who step up without hesitation. Through his support for the Celia Hammond Animal Trust, Johnny reminded everyone that real change often happens quietly. No speeches, no spotlights, just action. Rod Stewart said he couldn't be happier to help raise awareness for vulnerable animals. Celia thanked them both for creating a magical experience that kept her life's work going strong. But the real thanks come from the cats themselves in the way they recover, play, find homes, live longer because someone cared enough to help from afar. This story isn't over. The trust continues its mission every day, rescuing, healing, rehoming, and Johnny's example inspires others to do the same. Maybe donate to a local shelter, adopt instead of shop, or simply be kinder to the strays in your neighborhood. Because kindness to animals isn't glamorous, it's necessary. It's feeding a hungry cat at 2 a.m. It's driving miles to drop off supplies. It's believing every life deserves a shot. Johnny Depp proved that fame can be a tool for good when used without ego. He turned a private night of music into lifelines for hundreds of cats. He donated art that became hope for shelters. He showed that compassion doesn't need an audience, it just needs heart. And for every cat who curls up safe tonight because of efforts like his, that's the quietest, most beautiful thank you of all. Continuing to expand for length, narrate slowly with emotion. Let's linger on the concert for a moment. Picture the room at the Ned Hotel. Soft lighting, a small stage, tables filled with people who care deeply about animals. No screaming crowds, no phones held high for selfies. Just genuine supporters listening as Rod Stewart's voice fills the space with timeless songs. John either in the wings or perhaps joining for a song, low profile, but his presence meant everything. The energy wasn't about celebrity, it was about purpose. Every note, every bid on those tickets, every handshake afterward funneled directly to the cats. Celia Hammond stood among them, humble as ever. At 81, she's still the driving force, answering calls at all hours, coordinating rescues, making sure no cat is turned away. She built this trust from nothing because she couldn't stand by while animals suffered. Johnny recognized that fire in her. He called her devotion admirable because he knows what real commitment looks like. He's seen it in his own life, protecting those who can't protect themselves. The funds from the night didn't vanish into overhead. They went to concrete things, a new incubator for tiny orphan kittens, X-rays for a hit by car tabby, dental work for older cats whose teeth were rotting from neglect. They paid for fuel so volunteers could keep patrolling streets. They stocked pharmacies with meds that turn hopeless cases into happy endings. One rescue story stands out in the trust's work. A pregnant stray found shivering under a car in winter. She was brought in, given warmth, food, a safe place to deliver. Her kittens, tiny, blind, vulnerable, got round-the-clock care. Without funding like Johnny helped provide, that family might not have survived. But they did. The mom was spayed after, preventing more litters on the streets. The kittens grew strong, playful, and found loving homes. That's one family. Multiply it by hundreds, thanks to nights like the concert. Johnny also understands the emotional toll on rescuers. These people see the worst: abuse, starvation, cruelty, and keep going. His support lifts them too. When a celebrity quietly backs your cause, it validates the grind. It says, what you're doing matters. Keep going. Beyond Celia Hammond, Johnny's animal advocacy touches many corners. He's rescued personal cats, advocated against cruelty, supported broader welfare. But this chapter with the trust highlights his preference for cat-focused rescues, places that specialize in felines, understand their unique needs, and fight specifically for them. Cats often get overlooked. Dogs get the big adoption drives, but cats, they slip through cracks, silent sufferers in alleys, rooftops, abandoned buildings. Charities like Celia's change that. They trap, neuter, return where possible, or bring inside the ones who need more. Johnny's help amplified their voice. In the "Hopelessly Devoted" campaign, that signed lithograph wasn't just merchandise. It was a bridge connecting fans to the cause. People who admired Johnny could buy in, knowing their money saved lives. He posted it himself, a simple share that sparked waves of generosity. No hype, just truth. Help these cats. Years from now, when people look back on Johnny's legacy, they'll see the blockbusters, the artistry, But they'll also see this: a man who used his platform to ease suffering for the voiceless. A man who sat in a quiet room, sang or listened, and walked away knowing hundreds of cats would eat, heal, live because of it. That's kindness in its purest form. Unannounced, undemanding, unforgettable to those it touches. So next time you see a stray cat watching from the shadows, remember, someone like Johnny Depp once stepped up so that cat, or one like it, might never have to watch alone again. Extend further with reflective pauses in voiceover. Reflect on the bigger picture. Animal rescue isn't glamorous. It's messy, heartbreaking, exhausting. Yet people like Celia Hammond dedicate lifetimes to it. And when someone like Johnny lends a hand, or a voice, or funds, it recharges the whole effort. He didn't seek headlines. Reports emerged later, through charity statements, grateful posts, quiet thank yous. That says everything. True kindness whispers. It doesn't roar. For the cats of London streets, for the kittens in rescue crates, for every whiskered face that finds safety. Thank you, Johnny. Your heart of gold reached where it was needed most. And the work continues. The trust keeps rescuing. Volunteers keep showing up. Donations keep flowing. Because one person's quiet act can start a chain of compassion that saves lives long after the music stops. That's the real magic, not the spotlight, but the shadows where help is given freely. Johnny Depp lives the truth. And the cats, they thrive because of it.